Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Andrews and Eastern. You know what? I did a little bit of off camera mining last time. We've got our cars outbound at the interchange. Everything's cleaned up. So, it's midday. Let's say we take an hour's nap and see what happens. Oh, look, we got cars at the interchange. Let's go see what we got. Four cars, and they're all four here. Well, this will be pretty easy then. That said, I think we are going to take one of those cars with us back down to Nantahala, just because I want to make sure we don't run out of coal down there. I don't need the caboose right now. We're going to shove the caboose back. We'll use this to drag all the cars up. Set aside the one that we don't need. And then we'll go get those switched out. And get the passenger train rolling. So again, this is probably going to be, well, I don't want to say a shorter session, because I always say that. But probably a less intense session. Our pulpwood cars are still unloading. Oh, look, we got another car that's ready to go out. So this first car, we're going to reroute it to Nantahala. It's got a lot of coal, so when we take the other, eventually need to take the other one back, we'll set it to the coaling tower here. It's got a ton of repair parts in it. Yeah, so our goal today is more or less try and just wrap up day 3, which I believe is what we're on. Yeah, I guess we're on day 3 at the moment. So we'll try and get that wrapped up. And then I'll probably do some off-camera mining before we get to anything hugely important. And that way, next stream, we will have exciting stuff going on. Although I cannot guarantee that's happening. I do have a little more free time at the moment. I took the professional engineering civil exam today, so no studying anymore. But there is some other stuff going on. I'm going to a train showdown in Longview this weekend. So we will see if I actually have time to do any extra work on this railroad. Just to remind you where we're at, we are still limited to Andrews Nantahala. I want to try and get all the way to Alarka Junction before I unlock, so to speak, any more track. Which means we're going to need to recover all of the equipment that's wrecked up here and up here. And that's going to take a while. In the meantime, we can make our loan payment. In fact, I'm actually going to pay down some of that debt right now. I would not expect to get any new equipment for a bit, though. Do this. Let's park here. Set the coal hopper over here for a second. Didn't I tell you to change where you were going? There you go. We'll drop this car on this track so the passenger train can pick it up and take it down. And brake. And then we'll park you out of the way. I think it'll be fine. So let's get our passenger train ready. And now if you watched the last episode, we do still have the other coach. We've just left it over there. This one's the observation coach. So if we have just this, then we get the bonus for having markers, both directions. And right now our passenger count is so low, we really don't need two coaches. Let's be honest for a second. Alright, set that there. Fly that. Unhitch. Still got the deck. I'm not sure if the little 440 could actually even haul one car. It might be that. No, go the other way. The other forwards. Maybe I'll try that in an off-camera session. Just see how well that goes. Okay, let's take a look at the depot. We do have one passenger who wants to go to Roto, so we'll pick them up before we head out of town. Also have 17 passengers for Nantahala, which is why I'm not eager to try and flip the clock any further than I have to. I'm sure this looks like the most overpowered mixed train I could possibly have. But remember, we're facing like 3% grades just to get the top 10. We always talk about red marble, but it's actually pretty steep on both sides of the hill. Okay, you're ready to go? Eyeball backwards. Check your switches. It's there, good. Let's teleport down to Nantahala. Set your drop point. No active freight waybills, so at the moment, nothing else to pick up down here. And all your switches should be good. Except maybe... Except that one. That's why I checked it. Don't need to send our passenger train up the Graham County line. Okay, while you highball out, let's go back to our freight train. Actually, let's save. First things first, this should go to the repair track. And that way, once we have a supply of repair parts, we can actually start retrieving and fixing all that stuff down in the gorge. Maybe not bring it in that fast, though. We don't want to... The goal is not to use these parts on our caboose. So now that'll start unloading. Now we can go take care of these cars, both of which are going over there, and it looks like both of them are going to be pretty easy to drop. Oh, I just had a really bad thought. Let's go find the other train real quick. How'd they return our bearings? Okay, they returned our bearings just the way we left them, so we're fine there. That is good to know. It would have been very bad if they had given us our car back and it was empty on oil. I'll get these over to the paperboard. So you're going to PO1, PO2, which I believe is one of the ones over here. Line that, line that, line that. Oh, it's an Oregon Northwestern car. I just noticed that. Fun little operation right out of Eastern Oregon. Very well known for their 4 AS616s diesel electrics from Baldwin, 3 of which survive. In fact, I've seen 2 of them. If you go down to the Western Pacific Railway Museum in Portola, you will find them. And that's a bit too fast for that curve. We are trying not to put things in the dirt. Thank you very much. There we go. Looks like our passenger train is almost to Rodo. Excellent. And of course that car just goes there. Now I think, yeah, I think we have to get 3 days of service in before we can start upgrading anything. So this is day 2. That. Huzzah! Alright, what else do we got? That's not ready. That's not ready. That's not ready. None of those are really near ready, but I did see a car on the south end. So let's go grab that. We can at least run it to interchange while we wait for 12 to make its run. Yep, so we got one that's ready to go. Those ones aren't ready. And I think we want to wait till all of these cars are unloaded before we deal with pulpwood. Okay, and train is that Roto. There was one passenger heading there. Yep, $2, one fare. Every dollar counts. You need to go there, there. Yep, okay. You good? Now, I do know there's a lot of cool new mods out. In fact, I've got a few of them in this game. And I do kind of want to check out the 44-tonner by Spinotto and Green Ninja at some point. But our railroad is still kind of in the early phases, so I don't think we want to do that yet. ETC. Interesting. Didn't think we'd get a car from Portland Terminal Company all the way out here. Or no, I guess that was Portland Traction Company. One of their engines still survives. It's a very cute and very orange SW1, complete with trolley pole. Not used for traction power, just to trip all the signals that were activated by all the trolley wire. It doesn't actually do anything, but we should probably close that door. Don't want all the paper falling out. And we'll just take this over to interchange, and that's pretty much it for what this guy can do. So that's another downside to starting in Andrews is your pasture run takes a lot longer. If you go look at the map, Whittier to Ella, which is what you start with, Ela, that's about 3 miles round trip. You can do that pretty easily. Going to Bryson, Yeah, it's about 7 miles one way, 14 miles round trip. So 6, 14. In our case, it's about 24 miles round trip, and 20 and about 28 if we're going all the way to Hewitt for freight. And of course, it's on the steep section of railroad. So this is very much not the easy mode. But I do hope it becomes an actual game feature as opposed to something I sandbox together. And let's run this back. We'll run around it, shove it into the interchange, and that'll pretty much be that for switching up here. So then we'll just go follow 12. Not that I have much to talk about at the moment, but at least the scenery will be nicer. Call it Railroader ASMR, if you will. Roll by the depot. Still no one going where we can get to. And of course, we've got 3 cars. I want to go to Bryson and Whittier that we can't stop from being delivered, but that we also can't deliver yet. It's going to be a while. So I've explained this in the past, and actually I'll explain this again a little bit more in a bit. But what you are seeing is not some sort of super game-breaking, file-changing thing. All it is I've used sandbox mode to make a map that starts, so to speak, in Andrews instead of Whittier. I'm assuming the fact that the game asks if you want to start in Whittier, even though it's your only option, means that at some point you will be able to start in other places. Maybe Bryson, or Dillsboro and Silva, or Andrews. So I'm kind of curious to see just how this is going to go. But for the time being, I've cobbled together an Andrews start just to fiddle with. And looking at my OBS, I seem to have both a lot of viewers and not a lot of viewers. Possibly just like a couple viewers who keep switching the stream on and off again. Stop. Told you to throw. Looks like our passenger train is almost to Topton. Release that and roll. It's already starting to unload. In fact, let's take a look. Okay, so it's going to be able to take a total of 100 repair parts at a time. And we're probably going to need all of them to repair all the stuff we're going to have to drag out. But once again, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's just make that easy and line everything straight down. And let's make it even easier. Let's just kick it. Kick it and go back to the shop. Passenger train is at Topton. Don't think they're dropping anyone off. They should be picking someone up. At least I hope so. Ooh. We good? We're good. Let's just shove that a little further in. But not too far. We don't want to damage Rebecca back here. We'll save again. Set up the top then. And we'll just follow train 12 down the hill. 19 passengers to Nantahala. Excellent. But we'll let it stay in autopilot for now. Now, you're probably wondering, why do I say that this is an Andrew start? And I kind of touched on it already. So what you do, if you take a map, starting in Whittier, you use sandbox mode and unlock all of things that get you to Andrews. All of the track extensions. Then you delete your start engines from Whittier, and you use Sandbox to give yourself a couple new ones here in Andrews. Now at that point, you could be running all the way from Andrews to Whittier, but what's the fun in that? Especially when you're by yourself. So instead, I have faked some things, some checkpoints. You see, the railroad that we bought this from, the good old Atlantic and Western, or whatever they called themselves, they left some stuff for us. And before we can get all the way back to Whittier, we're going to have to take care of that stuff. Don't know that we want these palace cars, so we'll probably have to derail and scrap those. Maybe we can use the 440. Don't know about those log cars or the caboose. Probably fix up that poor little 2442. And then there's a mess up here in Bryson. Oh, look, an ESD car. Who's surprised? We're going to have to fix all of this and then get it sent back offline. That's not fun. Might be able to keep a couple of these cars, though. Gonna need plenty of repair parts. I think there was one more. Wasn't there one out here? Yeah, a whole train of pulpwood cars went on the ground. Thought there was an engine, too. Well, maybe there was an engine. But, you know, we might be able to salvage all that. And then something here. Yeah, logging trains on the ground too. Can't really do anything about that. But once we've cleaned up all the stuff and gotten to Whittier, then we'll be in some good condition. And once we've done that, we'll set our sights on paying off all of our debt. And then we can, yeah, pay off the debt. And I think my goal is to get up to another $50,000 in the bank after that. A lot of railroad to run. Not even sure we'll be able to use the East Whittier interchange when we're done. I do think I want to open up Alarka Junction Y. Now, one other rule about this game, it's no longer sandbox, although I might use it off camera to help with the scenario, so to speak. Every time we unlock the railroad to a point, we have to service up to that point. So if I clear those boxcars out of here, I'm going to have to serve National Park Service at Wesser and the depot at Almond. But once I cleared that, I have to service all the way at least to Alarka Junction and Hemingway. But I think there was another wreck up here. Once I clear that, all the way to Bryson. Once I clear this, all the way to Ella and Whittier. So, to save myself some hassle here, since that's a long way to go, I'm just going to wait to pull these out until I'm ready to pull those out as well. Let's head back down the canyon to Nantahala. Through the trees, through the trees. Those... Well, that one's almost ready to go, I think. Advanced time, maybe it will be. Yeah, that's almost empty. I don't think it'll empty out for this trip, but it might next trip. And we also served Hewitt. We dropped off some cars earlier in this game, in the day today. Yeah, you're not going to be ready, you're not going to be ready. Yeah, I don't think any of these are going to be ready to go. I thought I keep setting it back to here. So, yep, just rolling down red marble. Maybe I should just do these as videos instead of streams. What do you guys think? A few more twists and turns. We'll drop this off after we get the passenger car dropped. How's our tender doing? Yeah, our tender's just fine for now. We got a couple more corners before we get back. You can see the branch line that goes off to the two Nantahala Industries. And there we go. Entering Nantahala. Let's maybe set that a little closer. And we got two people who want to go to Andrews. Once again, the downsides of doing it this way, doing the map this way, because we technically have the whole railroad, everyone early on is going to want to try and use the whole railroad. Hopefully after a couple of days of not serving anything but Nantahala to Andrews, we'll be limited to passengers who only want to go to those places. And the other catch is that we're still going to get cars for the house tracks at Bryson and Ella and Whittier and anywhere else that currently has a house track. And there's not much we can do about it except stash them at Andrews and deliver them when we get the chance. Which means at some point we're going to fill up the yard in Andrews. Yeah, that'll work. So while you unload, let's also get you set up to go the other way. We'll get you watered because we're going to be down by the water tower. The only water tower at Nantahala, and it's all the way at the end of the track. And then we'll get the coal car dropped off. And then we'll probably fast forward a couple hours and try and load up some passengers. 45 bucks? 19 fares? Yeah, yeah. I'll take it. This thing is gonna slurp water. When that one's empty, we can just pluck it off and put it on the next outbound train. And this is where I do the old YouTuber thing of like and subscribe. If you enjoy it, like and subscribe. And of course, go watch my other content. I've got some shorts. I've got some regular train watching videos. Got some auto railroad stuff. It's fun. Oh, you're done. Which whistle do I have on here? It says it's an SP6, but I think it's just doing the default one. Let's go with that for now. Some of the whistle mod packs don't quite seem to work right. Dunk in. Release that. Well, actually, no. We probably don't want to do that. Don't want to switch hoppers being unloaded. So we'll undo that. And let's wait an hour and see what happens. Let's wait one more hour and see what happens. Yep, 4 more going back. That's fine. That'll work. But from the looks of it, we still don't have any cars ready to go back up. Well, that one's almost ready. Let's wait a few minutes and see what happens. And that'll give them more time to figure out if they want to go or not. We try to provide excellent service here on the Andrews and Eastern, but we do want to, you know, get home at the end of the day. I do like these little wooden trestles. The trestles are fun. I think they're a bit of a pain to maintain, but they're fun. It does actually seem to be a little bit of a grade. Oh yeah, that's actually a pretty decent grade here. Everything's steeper on this end of the railroad. Got another little wood trestle here, although that one's a bit taller. Still looks cool though. Come on, you're on the verge of being done. I don't want to have to wait a whole nother hour. I can. And if it doesn't happen in a couple minutes, I might. But I don't want to. And now, we wait. Again, hopefully not too long. Well, that car's just barely in. In the meantime, is there anything else we can look at? We do like that. That's fine. That's fine. I thought I'd turn that down, actually. Yeah, that's fine. And all these are still going to be tier 1. On the upside, once we get unlocked other places, we'll be able to get up to tier 2. We made all of $94 from passengers yesterday. I don't think today's going to be a whole lot better, really. Okay, so that's on the verge. I just saw Andrews had another car ready to go. I'm going to guess... Nope, not the coal hopper. No, it's still got 5. 6 is from yesterday, but yeah. 2 pulpwood cars are now ready. It's taunting me. This car holds exactly 40 tons. It's at 40 tons. And it hasn't released yet. What if I close the door? Are you done now? No. Okay. Well, I guess we wait. Wouldn't expect anything at Hewitt to be ready, but is anything at Hewitt ready? Nope. Good, I didn't feel like going up there anyway. Let's go back here for a bit. Guess I know we're not using this car, but we can still keep the bearings oiled. We'll probably want it later. That car's almost empty. This thing burns through coal really quick. Can't imagine what it'll be like once we upgrade it a couple tiers. I don't know if I really want to go past tier 3 at the moment, but we'll see. And of course, there's nothing at Roto or Topton. And we wait. I know why they changed it. This is on the experimental branch, by the way, so that you can't speed up the time. Oh, hey, look, there it goes. It's because of how they've changed passengers, so that passengers will now only ride a train for a maximum of 4 hours. Once they get on, the 4 hour clock starts, and if you can't get them where they want to go in time, they just vanish. I guess they hitchhike. I think it affects your passenger rating too. Which is why I don't really want to jump more than 2 hours, because then that only gives us about 1 hour to get the passengers we do have loaded back to Andrews. Take this down the hill real quick. And kick this into the industry. Catch up to that car. Oh, it is uphill up there, up that bridge. Good to know. So it's cresting somewhere in here. Catch up to this car. Just like in the movies, you know? Gotta do it like in the moving pictures. Dramatic catch-up scene. We'll just knuckle this straight to the train, top off on coal, and get up the hill. It's not going to be a particularly heavy train, at least. So while this thing coasts down the hill at ludicrous speed, I can already see Plaid. Did we? Nope, no more passengers. Is there oil in that car? Like, I didn't check. Yeah, it's fine. Slow that down to sane speed. Throw that switch so we don't run ourselves up into the coal chute. All right. We'll take that. Pull up. Charge the hill. Get our front jet light on. Hopefully tomorrow we have more stuff to take uphill. I don't think this will take too long. Incidentally, if you're looking for some good music, the Angry Ragtimers group, which is the Peacherine Ragtime Orchestra, they've got some really good ones. Go check them out. Especially their ragtime editions of Stayin' Alive and Take On Me. Alright. Charge! 267 tons, so this really shouldn't be too hard. And at this point, it's basically throttle on the ceiling and go. So we'll just leave that for a bit. Get a little more speed. Yeah, we'll lose a little more once we get past Graham County. Pretty sure once we get up to Andrews, we're just gonna drop that in the interchange, drop that in the shop, get it back up to 100. Call the day, call the stream, and then I'll see what the next day brings later. There's that. Those cars are going to be sitting there a while. At least we're still building speed. Man, look at that grade. It does get steeper, so I think we're going to slow down from 25. This is the really steep part. But I don't think we're going to lose too much speed. And we're picking up speed, picking up coal, picking up speed, shovel as much as the engine needs. I think that's how it goes. We don't need to do that at the moment, so we're going to slow down. And brakes. More brakes. Lots more brakes. Hey, we got 6 passengers who need to go this way, so we'll take them too. And hey, we had 2 going that way. Alright, well, that works. Roll on the roto. You can tell it's steep because we're on a 20-pound set and still rolling pretty hard. Not, although we also don't have a whole lot of braking force back here. Just rolling through the countryside. Used a bunch of coal and water getting up that hill. We're going to use very little getting down it. Kick off. Let it speed up again a little bit. Now, I haven't been to the actual Great Smoky Mountains Railroad, but my understanding is they only run from Dillsboro to Nantahala. The track is still in place to Andrews, but the Andrews Eastern segment is only used by rail bikes. And I can't really blame them because the grades are pretty easy to Nantahala and pretty tough after that. Those of us who like hearing engines work, we'd love that. Everyone else, they wouldn't care. And since everyone else makes up about 99% of the public, there's not really much reason for them to try and restore and run up red marble. Just to make sure I haven't lost track of where I am. Okay. Next Big Ben will take us into Roto. I have heard we might get some bad weather here, so I'm gonna save frequently. And if the stream suddenly cuts out, that's probably why. Coming in hot. Oh, missed that whistle. Oh well, no one was there. 6 for Andrews, we'll take him. We had a few for Roto. Hope I didn't leave anyone. I might have left someone at the other station. Oh well. And save again. How many people was that? $2, 2 fares. Okay. All right, we got about another 4.5 miles to go. So we'll probably be going another 10-15 minutes. Pinch that down. Kick it off. It's a pretty short train, so I'm not too worried. Well, not too worried about losing all my air, but it is also a steep grade. I think it ends when we get to the tunnel. There we go. There's the tunnel. Game doesn't really know how to handle trains going through tunnels. It's kind of like Microsoft Train Simulator in that regard. Oh, look, there's a rock. Bam! That should have derailed us. Little texture things. No one's going to notice. Come around this corner and the next corner, and we'll be out of the 30 zone, and then we can highball. As we get smacked by trees. I don't know when I'm running. I don't actually need to use throttle here. In fact, we still need to use brake. Just rolling on down. I don't think we have to worry about any more switches between here and there. A little bit of brake. We actually get going faster here. I don't know how fast we can go around this corner. Let's find out. Oh, maybe not go much faster than that, but let's just say that corner is 3 degrees. Ah, we're good. It's fine. See, barely even noticed. Just a little bit of squealing. I'm not entirely sure engine like that, but you know what? We're fine. We're fine. It's fine. We should probably be slowing down pretty quick though now. That is actually kind of far down, so maybe we'll throw that into the engine shed for an hour, just so that we don't lose money on it. Gonna want to line this in that way. Can't really reverse the markers on this. They're set to only be on one end. Save again. As we all know, Jesus saves. Be like Jesus. Run around. Knock that into the shop for an hour. All good. And then we'll kick it down to interchange. Water and coal this thing. Call the session. And it's good. That thing's good. Still don't like how these stovepipes don't actually connect to anything. Am I the only one who's bugged by that? Let me know in the comments if you're bugged by that too. Question is, can I cool and water this while keeping an eye on that? Do a quick tap of the handbrakes just to keep it under control. It's gonna need more water, so now I'm a little less worried. Missed. One more card to the interchange. Yay! You're full. Shove this in, get you touched up as well. Parts car is still pretty full, so that's good. We have to kick the number 1 out later, but... So once we start repairing equipment, we're going to have a lot of it to fix. And this is the only place to do it. So, as we set our sights, we've made $96 from passengers, $3,000 from freight. We're doing pretty good. We can afford to pay off a little more loan. But we still got a long way to go. So, thank you all for watching. And I will see you next time I stream, whenever that is. Take care.